Right now, I'm at a place called Fukagawa Winery. They're apparently making wine in the middle of Tokyo. So let's go take a look. The Fukagawa Winery was opened 3 years ago as a winery and bar. The facility is originally a school meal supply center that was renovated. It's based on a new concept of an urban winery, one that isn't next to a vineyard, as is typically the case. We have with us Kosuke Ueno, who is a winemaker. So, what's the concept behind this winery?
Rather than going all the way to the countryside, grapes are brought to the city and made into wine here. It started with that idea.
And what makes a winery in the city unique?
I used to make wine in the countryside before, and at that time, I put priority on keeping the fruity taste of the grapes. But when making wine in the city like this, we have a restaurant attached to the winery, so we can match it to the taste of the food that the chef makes. Now, I focus more on making wine with the idea of pairing it with food. When the wine is in the final stages, I have a bite of the food made by the chef and think about what kind of finishing touch I want to give the wine. The other thing we do is offer volunteers the experience of making wine together with the grapes that arrive. We have the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology nearby, so we have an industrial academic partnership. We carry out experiments, such as sinking our wine in the sea, to find out how it'll turn out. And also, we rent the roof of a nearby supermarket and operate a wine garden there, where we also grow grapes. We're taking on all kinds of challenges.
We're about to go inside the winemaking area now. じゃあお願いします。
The door handle is made from a grapevine, and there's a bottle inside.
It's a wine bottle.
Please come in.
It smells really nice. すごいいい匂いですね。
Thank you. We make our wine in a space like this, so you can't walk around like you could in a factory of a major producer. But, as you said, you can enjoy the aroma. There are all kinds in the tanks now. We have 5 tanks of 1,100 liters, 2 of 2,000 liters, and 8 orange containers.
So, what's the condition inside the tanks now?
They hold wine made with grapes from Australia, and we'll begin bottling them during August. They'll be on the store shelves from September to October. Once the tanks are empty, we start using Japanese grapes, which actually enter the harvest season at the end of August. And we get Japanese varieties in September and October as well. This continues into November and December when we get grapes from Aomori Prefecture. And that ends the harvest season for Japanese grapes. But when the tanks become empty the following spring, we start preparations with grapes from the southern hemisphere. That's the production cycle. When we receive the grapes, we first separate out the stems. We put the grapes in here and switch it on. The grapes drop to the bottom, and only the grapes fall through the holes in the bottom. The propeller here turns, so the stems fly out. The grapes that have dropped down go into the orange containers. They go in from the top. We let the grapes in the orange containers sit and mix them in the morning and at night. By doing that, the bitterness, the acidity, and the color come out properly. It starts to become wine from that point. After that, it's pressed using this machine. From the orange containers, it's poured into buckets repeatedly, like this. And using a hose and pump, the tank is filled.
そこは電動なんで、
はいはいはいはい。
それぞれ膨らんでい
面白い。
動いている時のその
The work is a lot of fun, and people who come here as volunteers can see that with their own eyes. Also, the moment the grapes are pressed, this small space is filled with the aroma. So everyone gets really excited.
ですよね。なかなか見る。
It's not something you can experience that often. And then we bottle it here.
へえ。
もうここに刺すと液体がピューって出て
はい。
The cork is inserted over here. I'm sure you know that once you pull out a cork, you can't get it back into the bottle.
あります。
In fact, the cork is bigger than the mouth of the bottle.
はい。
So the bottle is set here. And watch.
このように瓶をセットしまして、
The cork goes in,
はい。あ、ちょっとじゃあこっちの。
そうですね。で、さっきこう入
あ、
れ
ちょっとゆっくり
てやるんです。
ゆっくりお願いします。
はい。どれぐらい収縮
and see how much it shrinks. It shrinks this much.
しまってくれるんですよ。
あーはははは。
This goes into the bottle, and the cork expands, sealing the bottle.
ができましたって形。
Maki will also try corking a bottle.
結構硬いですね
この。瞬間に
あ、press hard. It's fun.
で僕たち
It's a small place, so much of the work is done by hand.
Now I'd like to sample some of the wine made at Fukagawa Winery at the bar here. So, おすすめはどれでしょうか。
Our recommendation at this time is the Delaware Sparkling. It's a great variety that most Japanese people have eaten. We use that to make sparkling wine. I'm going to open a new bottle, so just watch.
開けるとこ見てきてください。
はい。
で、交換になってまして、
いい
ペロッ
音。
と持っていただいて、
はい。
はいどうぞ。
Please.
Ah, it's very refreshing. It's dry. It's not too sweet. I can drink this forever. This is very light. So,